So this is the second part to the latest video on the channel, which was how to create beats that artists want to buy. A few of you commented asking for a part 2, so here it is. I'm back with some more advice on how to create beats that artists want to buy. When you're producing, if you get to the point where you think it just needs that one more thing, stop there, because the likelihood is that one more thing is actually the artist themselves. They need to think that with their vocal, the beat will be complete, because if they don't hear space, they can't hear themselves on it, and they won't want to use your beat. So make sure you leave space for the artist. It's important to remember that when we listen to songs, well most songs anyway, we're listening with the artist on top of it. If you listen to the instrumental of a lot of songs, a lot of big songs, it sounds a lot different. Often it sounds like the beat has a lot less energy and it sounds a lot less full. And that's because the vocal adds those things. Remember, the beat you sell isn't the finished product for a song that's going to be released. I'd highly recommend adding your own vocal as a test to your beats, just to see if there is space. Even though it's not a proper vocal, you can still kind of see if it's too busy, if it's too crowded with a vocal on, or potentially the other way, maybe you've left too much space. That can also be easily identified by adding your own vocal on. On the topic of vocals, it might be an idea to experiment with posting your beats with hooks on. Often it's a really good way to get more plays on your beats, because people are interested in hearing what the hook sounds like, and it's just generally different to the majority of beats which are posted every day to beat selling platforms. It's also likely to increase your chance of artists buying your beats because, put simply, it's just less work for them, and almost as if they've got a feature on their song without having to do any of the work to get it. What I'd say about hooks though is that it shouldn't be compensating for something which is lacking in the beat. If the beat isn't attractive in the first place, adding an artist with a hook isn't going to make the beat attractive enough to artists looking to buy a beat. It's also important to be authentic and somewhat unique in your production. I say somewhat unique because honestly I do think with selling beats online, it is okay to follow kind of trends of genres and be influenced by the current sound. I think that's okay, but what I'm saying is get a balance of that and then also your own kind of style and your own uniqueness. That could literally just be that you use an instrument on a beat where most people wouldn't. Maybe that's adding a saxophone to a drill beat. That's a really random example, but I hope you get what I mean. Do something maybe slightly different to what other people would do. Merging genres together is often a great way to get an artist's attention, because even if they just see the title and it's a, I don't know, jazz drill beat. I'm really going with the drill beat examples today. Anyway, just seeing that on the title, they're more likely to click it because it's intriguing, and then maybe so intriguing that they want to buy it. What made a big difference in leveling up my beats and actually starting to make sales and make beats which artists do want to buy was seeing the importance of ear candy. Often I use vocal chops or phrases which I create myself, which is a great time to plug my new vocal sample pack, Verb Vocals. I just released that, so if you're looking for some ear candy, check that out. But it's not exclusively vocal chops. It could be little accents or instrument phrases. They're just little melodic bits sprinkled throughout the beat. They make the instrumental more interesting because it's not some linear, repetitive listen. It's exactly what I mean by making the beat sound more attractive. Ear candy achieves that. It's simple, it's catchy, and it makes the whole beat more interesting because you kind of sprinkle them throughout, introduce them at different points. It also almost wakes up your ears again if you were starting to get kind of a bit bored listening to a beat. Let me show you an example of a beat where I used ear candy and the difference it makes. You can really hear the difference in how much more interesting the beat is with the ear candy, how much more interesting and attractive it makes the beat sound. So I'd really recommend trying that out and use the ear candy yourself. Also, if you're struggling to make beats from scratch which artists want to buy, that's okay, because that's the point of these videos, to try and help you achieve that. I'd say just keep working at it. It does take practice and repetitions, but also feel free to collaborate with other producers, use their loops and samples. It doesn't mean you can't add your own uniqueness, like I said earlier. Use someone else's starters to get you inspired, and it means you don't have to solely rely off your own ability and your own creativity to make the whole thing and make a whole beat, especially if you don't feel like you're at the level where every beat you make you think artists really want to buy it. Use a producer's loop that you like and arrange it differently. Add some of your own sounds and instruments while taking out some of theirs maybe, so that there's still the right amount of production. You don't just want to add your stuff on top of the whole loop, because that's just going to make it too busy. So there's still the right amount of production, there's not too much, but you've added your own style. And the beat is something to be more likely that the artist is going to buy, because you use something you wouldn't come up with yourself, from another producer who likely sells a lot of beats. If you want to use some of my loops and samples, then head to the website in the description, that's where the vocal pack is as well. And join the producer community we're building on Discord, because that's a really cool place to be right now. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, we're really closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so hit that button, mate. And I'll see you in the next video.